Hello, Alexander. I'm very pleased to have you here for this talk. So for those who don't know you, because obviously our audience, I think, is Tunisia mostly, and maybe other people. Who is Alexander Borodich? Can you tell us more about who you are and in what field or are you stakeholder in?
Sure. So, if you will, let's start from the official part. Official part, if you will check Wikipedia, it states that actually I'm the business angel. That means I'm the venture investor who has been invested into more than 100 startups across the globe. And some from these startups became unicorns, so valuated above the billions, which is extremely lucky for the venture investor to have such companies in his portfolio. So you may consider me as a quite successful business angel. And several years ago, we found out the disrupting trend of decentralized economy and decided to create the company who will remove or eliminate the paper contracts, paper currency or banknotes from the circulation and replace them with the digital banknotes, digital contracts, because it's logical. I mean, it's logical to have a digital. And we created the company which named Universa blockchain as a blockchain, and currently implementing with this decentralized network a lot of application across the whole globe, and one of the solutions here in Tunisia.
Okay, so why did you bring Universa to Tunisia? What are you trying to accomplish here?
Tunisia invited us as a company to help to digitize the processes, and we created Universa Hub Africa as a digital hub to not only to deliver the solutions for the Tunisia, but also to create the center of expertise, the digital expertise, blockchain expertise, to be able to export such type of the solutions to other African countries. So from Tunisia to Maghreb region, then to the whole Africa. So when we were invited at that point of time, we started to mostly to educate the Tunisia how the decentralized solutions might be used. And now Tunisia has the national blockchain. It's the #1 country in the whole globe. You should be proud of that. Tunisia has the national blockchain. National blockchain will be used to provide a lot of decentralized services, as well as digital signatures, as well as electronic document flow, as digital passports for each and every good, services, etc. To tokenize the economy, to create the better solution which does not require the central, because there is always two poles of how the IT system might be done, the totally centralized or totally decentralized. And currently the world is switching from totally centralized solution to semi-decentralized, the fully decentralized solutions. And Tunisia, one of those countries who actually implementing such type of the solutions on the state level,
okay,
which is, I think, is kind of unique situation. I mean, not only for Africa, but I mean for the whole globe. I mean, to be the first country who launched national blockchain it's real achievement.
Okay.
So neither China is following Tunisia to launch a national blockchain this year, okay, but you were the first.
Okay. When you say national blockchain, can you say more? Because it's very hard for me to believe that a country, I don't know if you know about our payment system, but on mobile we cannot pay with our credit and debit card. So that is quite unique too in the globe. And to have a blockchain is like going from 0 to 20 in a day. So can you explain like how we're going to implement it nationally?
Yes, but I mean, let's start from the payment. Yeah. I mean, the weak points are always a good example of how you can achieve more jumping through this couple of stages directly to the digital. So when you have such unpleasant situation with your cards, It's an opportunity to skip several stages and to implement the 100% digital solution. So if you will think for a moment how the digital payments would be, I mean, in a couple of years, in 5 years, I mean, globally, we will definitely do not have any cards, plastic cards, because they would be incorporated in your phone. And you know for sure that in other regions it's possible to pay by phone. So how to came to that situation from the situation we have now? And national blockchain can help you with, of course, with the help of regulator, with the central bank. So the last year, the countries started to deliver the central bank digital currency, CBDC. It's also blockchain-based solution. So it's a digital banknotes, which will replace the paper banknotes. So instead of current cash, we will have digital cash, and the wallet to store this cash would be your phone. So as soon as we will get those CBDC, we will have our money definitely inside our phones. Because it's digital, you cannot put it to your pocket, you cannot put it to the card, you will have to put it to the phone. Okay. So in this case, you will be directly to the situation when you have your phone and your phone is your wallet. And it's based on the blockchain. The funny stuff about the blockchain, you simply should not even think how it works, because we have never questioned the phone how it works. Probably it's some kind of sophisticated, technical solution, but it works. I mean, if you like to play, you play. The same for the water pipes. You know that there are some in this building, there are some water pipes. But you know nothing about the height of this pipe, you don't know about the material they use to build it up. It simply works. The
plumber knows, but
yes, someone knows. Yeah. Someone knows. Some technician knows. Exactly. The same situation in digital. You may not understand how it works until your wallet is okay, the payments are going smoothly. There are some specialists at in Tunisia who were trained to work with that.
Okay. This is a great example, just to put more emphasis on this, the difference between the plumber and the pipe and all the things, that people are really scared about their money, because we have this culture that if we lose our money, it's like we're dying. Okay, so for people to really implement and go for the blockchain 100% and with all this digital process, they need to trust the system. And how do you trust the system if you don't understand it? So do you have an kind of
Yes. You trust the pipes even do not understanding that the pipes are simply transferring the water, which is enough to know. So let's say about the advantages. First of all, decentralized system does not have those point of centralization. So for example, nowadays with current system, bank can close your account. So you will lose the access to your money because it's not in your wallet. It's somewhere in the bank. So if the bank decide, I don't know by what reason, but they can close your account, switch it off, and you will lose everything. In decentralized system, as I told you, the digital cash will be stored at your wallet. So for you, it's more safe to have it here in your phone. If you will lose your phone, you will lose your wallet. So please be careful with your cash, because it's a cash. It's digital cash and it's stored in your digital wallet inside of your phone. But neither bank, no central bank, no anyone else can get into your wallet to take the money off. So it's way more safer to have such type of digital cash than the system we have nowadays. Because nowadays it's just a record at the database at the bank level. If something happened to the bank, you will lose it. If they decided to close it, you will lose it, etc., etc., etc. So at the digital currency system, it's more safe, it's more stable, it's decentralized. Because what means decentralized? It means that a lot of actors, nodes in blockchain, we call them nodes, small centers who are interconnected and synchronized, they store the balance of your wallet. So if you will shut down a couple of them, the system still will know that you have enough currency to pay for your bills, etc.
It stays there forever.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I have a question regarding yes, the mass are talking about cryptocurrencies because you know the markets are wide and people like excitements and big news and you know all this euphoria that you have in the markets. But the expert and people who foresee the future, as you do, who knows the trends, talk about blockchain. Okay, what's your belief like for the cryptocurrency and blockchain enthusiasts? Do you have kind of thought regarding this process of you know how mass are thinking and how experts are leading the way?
The cryptocurrency were the first examples of how blockchain technology is actually came to our life. So cryptocurrencies are using the blockchain technologies, but will the government will use cryptocurrencies? I assume in most cases no. So a lot of countries will even prohibit to use cryptocurrencies because they cannot control it. So what the standard, average government does if they cannot control something, they will prohibit it. So the cryptocurrencies will be prohibited somewhere, they will be restricted somewhere else, they will be approved in other countries. So there would be some tensions regarding the cryptocurrencies, but not the technology behind that. Technology is the decentralized technology, DLT or the blockchain. They definitely would be adopted by the countries. There are several countries who has adopted, and they adopted it not to use for cryptocurrencies, but for example to issue the digital currency for the nation with the central bank who is controlling the national cryptocurrency. They call it central bank digital currency because it's the center of emission is still centralized. The network to spread it is decentralized, but the center of emission, the control point, is definitely centralized by the government. So you may consider that, for example, Bitcoin might be recognized by the people, by the governments as a kind of digital gold, and probably it will increase its value until it will be 100% prohibited across the globe. But it's just a small fraction of the money economy. It's a crypto economy. It's quite small. I mean, in terms of, yeah, it's an asset. It's one of the assets.
Yeah.
So if you will consider about the an opportunity to tokenize, digitize all the resources, I mean, from natural resources as well as liquid natural gas, oil, metals, crop, grain, whatever you'd like to tokenize, it might be also tokenized through the blockchain. Add up on top of this, you may tokenize the labor, you may tokenize the services, you may get prepaid for your services, thanks to tokenization and digitalization. So it will be the digital tokenizing economy in, they currently call it decentralized finance economy. It will be way more huge than the crypto economy around the blockchain, around the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in this case, real life assets will definitely outperform the current crypto economy, I mean, in the long term. In short term, of course, it will grow.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for the explanation. For the Tunisia digital currency that might be run by the central bank, I know central bank are very conservative in their approach to issuing money. No, for example, for the foreign currency, as citizens, we don't have very access to it, very limited access. Very, very conservative finance in Tunisia. How do you see it? Do you think that is it achievable? Do you have a timeline for this kind of digitalization? Because it's going to be a big step, and if it happens, we are really looking forward to it as young entrepreneurs and even like citizens. Do you have a clue? Do you have an insight? Are you talking to them? How do you see it, truthfully?
First of all, I mean, the general thought is that it slower the economy, it slower the growth of all those young entrepreneurs, because you are actually disabling them to the access to the global markets, and we are living in a global society. We are not yet, closed in our borders. You may provide the services to the customers globally in Europe, in States, in Southeast Asia, in China. So you should be able to collect the payments for your services. You should be able to exchange the yuan and later on digital yuan, the central bank digital currency of China, into local currency. You should to pay your bills. The less opportunity you have by the restrictions from the central bank, the less economical value you can generate for the Tunisia. So it's not good for the Tunisia to have such restrictions. It's logical to not to have them. So my suggestion as an advice to remove as much of the restriction as possible, especially for all those startups. So in other nations, they have created a special economic zones where they put all the startups, that they allow them to do whatever they'd like to do, because you cannot stop it from being happen. If you are trying to restrict it, it will end up that the company will move to France, will move to the United Kingdom, they will open up the company there, and then they will pay taxes in Great Britain or France, but not in Tunisia.
Yes.
And you will lose your best brains, you will lose the potential good startup, and then you will see that company go to the Hong Kong exchange or New York Stock Exchange, but not in Tunisia.
When you talk to this representative, what did they tell you? Because it's great advice, but what do they think about it?
I think it's a job for young Tunisian to put the pressure on the regulator here. And of course, when we meet any kind of officials, we share such thoughts, we share such advices, we explain them how it works in other nations, we explain them how it might be done if they have desire to change the situation, to make it better.
Do you see kind of young entrepreneurs doing that right now?
Yes, I think the startup ecosystem in Tunisia is growing.
Yes.
And the country, probably the Ministry of Technology and other agencies should support this movement. They should create the conditions to make it as easy as possible to start your own startup, to get it funded, to get the payments from the abroad, to be able, to less restrictions you will have, the more value you will get here. So the idea is to create the digital zone here, because the Tunisia can export digital products, but to be able to export digital products, you should have the conditions which will help you to do it. If you don't have them there, all entrepreneurs, they are proactive. They will move to the territory who will welcome such behavior.
Okay. Let's talk about Universa.
Universa is good.
We go technically. So when did the project started? When did you realize the ICO? What was the white paper if you had? Did you go through what you promised? So where is it going? How did it start and where is it going, and where are you right now?
Okay, so when we found out in the beginning of 2017 that there is no enterprise-grade blockchain as a network who might be adopted by the governments, by large corporations, by transnational level. So there is no network that do not have mining, because the mining in Bitcoin and Ethereum means that you are spending a lot of electricity for just calculate the long number, the cipher, the hash, and it does not make economical sense to spend those electricity just to generate the number. So we sacrificed the mining. We created the network, which is extremely fast. Currently, we are faster than Visa. We have 25,000 transactions per second on the public level, and way more on the private networks. We are currently one of the most secure network because we have the layered access to any piece of data we have, like a chain of chains So each and every smart contract creates his own chain inside of the on the blockchain. So we are like a final point of truth. So you would be able to check every fact, every piece of knowledge which has been signed by the network. You can check it later on. It's impossible to delete. It's impossible to amend it. I mean, it's a blockchain, decentralized network of trust. So we started in 2017. We created the proof of concept. We wrote the idea to create the proof of stake network and to deliver it to the world in less than a year. Then we went through ICO. We collected some cryptocurrencies to be able to spend them on the development. Unfortunately, when it came, the cryptocurrency fell down like 10 times. But it's okay. I mean, it happens. It's volatile. It's cryptocurrencies. So we launched the network. The main network has been launched on 12th of April 2018. So since then we promised to deliver the network. We delivered the network. So since then we started to build up applications, real life applications for this network, on top of this network. So since then it was the national blockchain in Tunisia launched using the same technology, but I mean on the local country level, national-wide level. It was a lot of pilots because the state level, at the large corporation level, 2018 was a bit earlier to deliver the full solutions. But now it's time. Now it's time because due to the COVID, everybody went digital. Everybody want to have digital solutions. Now there is a clear demand for such solutions. So we launched several systems across the globe. We launched the pilot with digital currency. So we created the colored coins for Malaysia, where it's not possible to spend them on alcohol and tobacco products, which means that now currency might be programmed, might be coded. And you, for example, can create the voucher, which or coupon for food, which you cannot spend on anything else except the food or education. And in this case, you may reduce the corruption. You may reduce, the improper use of money. And at the point of sales, it will convert back to the currency. And so such coded currencies might be done easily on top of Universa. So we launched it as a CBDC platform, and currently several central banks are trying to use it. And we do believe that in a couple of years we will win at least one country who will use Universa for CBDC. It would be the great achievements also for the Universa. And we created, later on we created universal digital currency platform, now to be able to tokenize any kind of assets, real life assets. And the first real world example of this technology is digital sugar. So we have tokenized the sugar from the Emirates together with the government of Emirates and the Al Khali sugar. So we took the warehouse with the sugar, we created the electronic warrants. We divide these electronic warrants by kilos, create the one token is representing one kilo of sugar. Then we created the exchange where you could buy and sell this digital sugar.
Is the exchange and all of this?
Yeah, it's a digital sugar. Yes, digitalsugar.io. You would be able, if you need the digital sugar, you can register and buy it, and then to sell it, and then to use it if you need it.
Okay.
And of course, it's just the first example how the commodity would be digitized. So we have the long pipeline of the commodities which would be digitized next. And currently we are working with gold. So the gold would be, as well as sugar, would be tokenized. It would be used as a digital gold tokens among the other financial institutions.
So you said you have 25,000 transactions a second, or even more if it's private. How much is it really used right now? Because this is the potential, but on daily basis, is there people like interacting with the network? How many transactions?
Each and every transactions requires, went through the network, is utilized the network itself. So the node owners is getting rewarded. Of course, the current consumption is very low, and we do think that it will take 2 or 3 more years to get to the like a serious capacity, I mean serious bandwidth of the usage, because the still even now the demand is clear, but the solutions has to be developed, and then they should be implemented. When you are working with governments, the typical solution can take 2-3 years to be just to sign the contract, then to deliver the solution. It took years, and unfortunately you have to wait all those time to complete the solution, and then to get the revenue from the project you are starting like a couple of years ago.
Okay. For example, for Ethereum, there are many applications right now doing it. So why is there a focus on Ethereum applications and not like other blockchains like Universa Technology and others? Is there kind of focus on these like platforms that really started in the beginning, and people are not looking into like Universa and others? Do we think that the market at some point will compare between these offerings? Because in the end, are you different from others like Ethereum applications? If so, will the market understand the difference? Will they go to you? Like, what's the real work here?
I mean, if you work in crypto, probably you do not see us as a competitor for the Ethereum. But if you will try to create the economy around your solution, you will definitely find the difference. Because, for example, the cost of the transaction in Ethereum requires to pay you for the gas, and the gas price in Ethereum is extremely high now. So the price per transaction might be several, I mean, like a tens, $20 per single transaction. So, for example, if I would like to pay you for a coffee using Ethereum, the price per transaction would be 5 times more than the price of the coffee, which doesn't make economical sense to use Ethereum for such type of the solution. Okay. So in this case, you would prefer to use us or other competitors, other blockchains who does not have this ridiculous amount of, I mean, gas price to cover the transaction. Okay. In our case, the price per transaction is always 1 cent. Okay. 1 cent always. I mean, the application may take some percentage from it if you have the payment system. But the network does not charge more than 1 cent. And this is one of the advantages. So when it's quite easy to create the smart contracts on top of the Ethereum network. So if you create the same smart contracts on top of Universa, it definitely would be faster and cheaper. But I mean, again, if you are creating for the crypto economy, you probably do not see us as a competitor to Ethers. Because, but if you are, but if you are developing solution for the state, for the large corporations, you will definitely see us on your list of potential technical platforms.
Do you think that someone who has an application that needs thousands and thousands of transactions a second should not use Ethereum, and should, for example, I've seen like some trendy new cryptos and new blockchain applications, and most of them use the Ethereum blockchain. Is there a reason, for example, even cryptos, like they create cryptos through Ethereum protocols, right? And why is that?
Because it's well known and widespread. The only reason it's widespread because it's quite easy for you to get new Ethers. But I'm not sure it's quite easy here in Tunisia to get new Ethers. But I mean, somewhere else it's possible. Yes. But for example, if you'd like to sell small digital graphics using the Ether networks, you will realize quite soon that it's extremely expensive to sell it due to the gas price. So in this case, you will try to replace it with other solutions, if you need to sell it. If you create like NFT token, then you craze, across the whole globe, it would be the same. When you realize that it's impossible to build up NFT, which will not require that such high gas price, you will probably try to find out the affordable solution. At Universa, the creating NFT is easy, and again, the network fee would be again 1 cent. Comparing it to $25, if you are creating an NFT for For the house, it doesn't matter, would be 1 cent or 25 USD. But if you are trying to sell something small, small digital cards, unique cards, probably it makes sense to not to use Ethereum for this purpose. And from the consumer perspective, they don't care is it Universa or not, but they do care about the price of purchasing and then selling the item. If the commission is, I mean, like a 20 USD, I mean, every time you would like to buy and to sell it, that, I mean, they probably, they will try to think, well, why it's so high? Why should I buy the item for which costs 5 USD for 25 USD?
Do you think that retailers like Amazon can use Universa technology, or they're building their own? Because when you're telling me this, I'm really thinking about big retail selling everywhere, kind of like a Visa, but through blockchain. Is there an application to this, and how?
Currently building up the e-commerce platform which will use our solution for the mostly for settlement the payments, because the payment settlement is still there. It's a huge hassle across the globe. So we definitely can make it faster and easier to even to countries, to banks, to get the settlement. And from international settlement, and went to the electronic documentation among the parties, because if you have paper contracts, we can digitize it. This is our, I mean, layer where the profits of using this technology is a way higher. So until you are not there, I mean, for example, where we might be helpful to the small e-commerce shop, not for the other e-commerce platform, but we can help you to get funds or to get factoring for those couple of days or couple of weeks when your goods are actually delivered to your customer. So we as a platform can deliver the money day one when you send the package, and not at the couple of weeks ago later when the customer will actually pay at his post, for example. So we might be your financial partner, because we digitize the whole process. We see the package, we know when the package would be delivered, we know it would be delivered, we know it's insured, it would be paid, so we can give you the cash upfront.
Okay, so it's more direct than paying through Visa, and they charge you.
Yes, of course, but of course, because when you actually swipe the credit card at the POS machine, the money went to the POS machine provider, payment network, bank, then another bank, and then at the end you will get it. In our case, you will get it instantly.
Okay, makes sense.
I don't know how it's expensive here in Tunisia. I know it's about 5-6% acquiring fee when you swipe your card.
Yes.
So the payment provider is taking like a 5-6%. So it's a ridiculously high amount of money. So if we can propose you a solution that it will get less than 1%, it would be 5% net profit instantly.
Okay.
And you will get money instantly too.
So there are kind of reward systems.
Any kind of reward system might be done on top of tokenization, because you can tokenize both loyalty programs and you may tokenize upfront payments, because you as a business owner would prefer always the upfront payments. So someone can prepay your working hours, and then you will deliver your work. For you, it's way safer because it has been paid.
Yes.
And for them, it's also like a contract. They have paid for 10 hours. You should deliver them 10 hours.
Okay. For the technology, like how many people was involved in Universa technology? How many do you need for it to always be maintained? As you're sitting here, like the blockchain of Universa is still running and is not fading. So is there something special about this technology, or most of the blockchain are used through the same logic, let's say? Is there a competitive advantage in this sense, or?
Yes, but it has been said that first of all we sacrifice mining. So the Universa network does not consume electricity.
Yes.
To up and running. So we have decentralized nodes across the globe, and of course we have the team who is developing new models, who is upgrading the network, I mean, on a regular basis, and move this project forward.
Yeah.
We have around a team of 30 who is supporting that. And of course, we have local teams to integrate the local solutions, I mean, in those regions where we're working. In Tatarstan, in Malaysia, in here in Tunisia, Universa Hub Africa, etc., etc.
Okay. Mostly it's code.
Mostly it's coding. I mean, digital means coding.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the middle of digital uprising trend, they earn more than your friends, go to teach the code. Coding is next digital plumbers.
Yeah. Apparently, they should not stop teaching us like languages and start teaching us
coding.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Coding languages is also languages, but all the digital IT systems will require to be developed, to be programmed, to be someone should write the programs inside.
Yes.
Autonomous cars will require programmers. Flying autonomous taxis will require more programmers because the infrastructure should be programmed too. I mean, almost everything you can imagine in digital will require developers, programmers. So please get those skills.
Okay. How do you see the future? What's the next project you're into? We mentioned space, and I think you're involved in kind of network up there. So you tell us more about these things.
Back. So I think that first of all, the banks will die because I mean, central bank will issue central bank digital currency and will send you directly to your wallet. So there is no intermediary among the central bank and you. So probably banks will die. It will be fully digitized process. Probably central bank will allow banks to use like huge accounts with digital cash to distribute it to their customers at first. But then the amount of banks still be shrink probably to none. So the bank in our terms would be your application. Your wallet, your application is your bank. Your phone is your bank. Then the retail will die also because due to the COVID, you now know that it's possible to order almost everything online. It will be delivered to your door. So retail will also transform somehow because you will not use all those trade centers. You will not go to the store to buy something. You will order it online. Yes. And again, your phone will become your, retail store to order anything. Then TV. TV is also dying because your phone is YouTube, Netflix, whatever you'd like to see there. Even this podcast, you probably will not use TV to check it. You will use your phone to see it. So it's but those are trillion valued industries. Money, retail, entertainment, which are transforming and moving 100% to the digital. And it's happening right now because space is, it's a near future, but those changes, thanks to the COVID, all those industries move into the digital quite fast. And it would be a lot of new projects, a lot of new startups, a lot of new opportunities, how to build up the instant day delivery. For example, in Tunisia, do you have it or not? If not, you should create one. To create the digital television with the user-generated content, with create the TV channel from such podcasts, to create the new, digital television on new principles. It's an opportunity to create it, etc., etc. The opportunities are limitless. Yes. Even right now, even not talking about the space. Of course, the space is the next frontier, and of course, there are several companies who is actually trying to get the digital infrastructure to the space, because the space itself is needed the same digital infrastructure as we need here. That we will have start mining on asteroids. We will start to get the natural resources from asteroids, then bring them to the Earth. Wow. to process, etc. It would be a huge industry around that, and of course, people will not do it. Robots will do it. So again, coding. You have to be able to develop all those systems, and but it's a very, very next frontier. Okay. But we have a lot of things to do right now due to the COVID with standard digitalization of all the processes will become obsolete. I mean, even becoming obsolete right now. Money, retail, TV, I mean, whatever. Everything you know there would become digital.
Okay. What about United Finance?
United Finance. United Finance is an additional application on top of Universa, which we found out that it's so easy to get the liquidity from the assets. If you will ask any kind of small, medium businesses, do they need funds? The answer is always yes, we need funds. And the financial infrastructure currently cannot support this demand, cannot fulfill this demand. On the other side of the equation, we have a lot of people and companies who has resources and assets where the money are locked in. For example, if you have a warehouse with a couple of tons of gold, you are paying for storage, you are paying for guarding this, storage, but the cost of this gold is like 100 mils USD, and you are paying several mils to store it, but they are not working for the economy, that you cannot get the money of it, you cannot put it to the economy. The same if you have a house, a flat, a car, any kind of assets. We can get the liquidity from those assets and allow the small and medium business to use this liquidity to increase and improve their businesses. So we can connect those who has an assets, those who need the money, together through the smart contracts to ensure both parties, and it's extremely easy to deliver such infrastructure using the blockchain, smart contracts, and Universa technology.
Okay.
So we do believe that it will be next global banking system.
So you're doing what banks do, but the technology is different?
We do that banks should do, but they do not do it efficiently, probably due to their conservative processes, probably because there is an opportunity for neobank when you can take the assets from Switzerland and move the liquidity to Tunisia, move the assets from Australia and put it to the Netherlands. Because, in digital, there is no borders.
Okay.
There is no borders at all. If you can digitally deliver it, it might be done.
It's amazing. Okay, and how far are you in this?
We have just started in January. We are going to have the first product delivered in April. We will have testing this product till July. In July, we will start to roll out for the whole globe.
Do you have a last word for young people who are listening to us? What words would you tell anybody who's watching that has ambitions and is just like thinking what's the next move?
Next move is to evaluate this digital landscape, and if you want to join this digitalization trend, it's definitely the right time to do it right now, because as I just told you, that several industries are collapsing, and those who are managing those industries, they simply do not understand how fast it will collapse. So you have the very narrow window of opportunity to start your own company, to start your own startup, to offer your resources, to get the digital skills if you are not an entrepreneur in your DNA, just to want to be and as a part of this movement. Please get those skills, learn how to code. It will require about this economy. It will require a lot of thousands of digital specialists. We don't have them, so please get those skills. It would be evaluated above average, so you will earn more than average people around you. And of course, please start to think globally. Even if you're in Tunisia, you can provide the digital services to the whole globe. And the whole globe will consume your services, will pay you for these services. And if you will think digital, then the Tunisia will be able to export those digital services, digital goods. And in this case, you would be comparable with the best of the best digital companies across the globe. So now we have those opportunity in digital to be one of the 10 whatever NFT art marketplaces in the whole globe. One of 10 digital marketing company, etc., etc. So it's not that easy to be one of the coal mining company in the globe. It's almost impossible. It is impossible. But in digital, it's possible. So it's an opportunity. I mean, once in a lifetime we have it. It's right now. So please start doing.
Thank you very much, Alexander. It was great time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, baby.